Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Producer Brad, making it happen.
Trying, at least. Trying. Having some difficulties here.
Well, the technology is always a challenge, and we're coming from 3 different far-flung locales, and we're hoping to have Coach Woody jump in here with us here in a little bit, but we're making it happen as best we can. What's up, boys?
Hey, tell the folks where you are, Nick.
Well, I'm in Hattiesburg. So Kevin and Brad are back at DNR corporate headquarters and holding things down here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Maddie and I pulled the I don't know, we've been talking about a name for the camper that we use for tailgating, Kevin. I don't know. We never settled on anything. Is this the I don't know what this
Clubhouse?
is. We got the mobile mine shaft, Chip Wampler's mobile mine shaft. And we've got Zach and Emily's tailgate bus that they bring out. You've got the Normulance, Rob Dibble's Normulance. Not that Rob ever brings that to a baseball game, but I don't know. We don't have a name for this. It's just.
It's got to be something with like the bullpen, the McIntyre bullpen, the dugout, clubhouse, something like that. Maybe we can get some help with that.
The clubhouse, the dugout, something. I don't know. I'll tell you what it was. I'll tell you what it was on Saturday. It was the lightning shelter. we had a good little crowd taking shelter, seeking shelter from the storm, to badly paraphrase Bob Dylan. But yeah, we're down here in Hattiesburg, getting ready to go. Now, here's an interesting story for you, Kevin. So we're at a campground just outside of Hattiesburg, a nice little spot here, but we are located just off of Highway 49. So that's US 49, which why does that? How does that factor in for things that we talk about, Kevin?
Well, in that song, there's a blues song on Highway 49 that we like to play at our football tailgates and baseball tailgates.
Correct. There's the Howlin' Wolf, the Highway 49 Blues by Howlin' Wolf was written about this Highway 49 that runs through Mississippi here. So US 49, but it makes you feel right at home. We're located conveniently here right off Highway 49. So there's your trivia. There's your trivia for the week, Kevin.
Well, I love that song. I love hearing it play at tailgates. So
yeah, George Thorogood has a version of it. We always go with Howlin' Wolf, the original. Still the best.
Well, go get you a jug of wine.
That's right. Going down to the whiskey store and going to buy me a jug of wine down on that Highway 49. That's right. We'd play it for you, but then we'd get slapped on the wrist by YouTube's algorithms again. So we won't do that. And producer Brad won't have to deal with any hate mail. I will say this, Kevin. We got in early this afternoon. We went down. We made it as far as Birmingham yesterday. Went into Hattiesburg this afternoon. Found Pete Taylor Park. Bought some supplies, and we'll see. I'll give you a ballpark review after tomorrow. But as far as Hattiesburg goes on the 16-year-old daughter index, Hattiesburg has already far exceeded Ruston, Louisiana. Maddie is way out front on Hattiesburg as opposed to Ruston. There's a Target. We went to Target, which is important for her. And the Target had a Starbucks in it. And not only that, but I passed a Krispy Kreme on the way in. So for right now, Hattiesburg has got Ruston beat. Jumping in with us here, who is like, what in the world is this idiot talking about? It's Coach Woody. What's up, Coach Woody?
What's up, guys? No, I think I have an idea what you guys are talking about. everybody's made it down. I see everybody's made it down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Okay.
Well,
just Nick. We're still at home headquarters here in the
Yeah, no, I can
Carolinas.
see that.
So somebody had to stay behind and be responsible. So those two, they're the ones. And here I am. So we were just talking a little bit about Hattiesburg. Tweeted out a picture. There is a giant display case of Celsius energy drink in Target. So if you guys, if Blake runs short, Coach, we know where to find some. We can get you hooked up over at Target.
I'm pretty sure Coach Bick went and cleaned it out right after he saw the tweet.
Does Bick drink Celsius too?
Anything with caffeine, our coaching staff consumes.
I got you. All right, so we'll jump right in, Coach. We were going to lead with the big news of the day. Give you a chance to offer comment. The long-awaited facilities master plan dropped this afternoon about the time we were rolling into Hattiesburg. There's a lot of cool stuff in there for a lot of different sports, but I know near and dear to your heart and ours are the facility upgrades slated for the Hayes.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, it's just, when I came to Charlotte, I remember meeting with Mike Hill and Chris Fuller and Darren Spees, and Chris Fuller made a really great comment. He said, we want to be an athletic department that fearlessly embraces momentum. And, that stuck with me, these 3 years and being here as the head coach of the Charlotte baseball program, just from the standpoint that it's full steam ahead. It is, we try to not stay centered on any obstacles or make excuses for why we can't do things. And it starts at the top with our leadership and our administration and wanting to be the best of the best. And that spreads all throughout certainly our program, hopefully, and every other program here at Charlotte. And with everything going on, just in college athletics and the transition from Conference USA to the American Conference, it only makes sense to continue to embrace that momentum and unveil the master facility plan, which is our administration has worked tirelessly on for a long time now, and everybody is extremely excited about, as you can imagine.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. If fans haven't, anybody that hasn't checked it out, go to charlotteevergreen.com. That is the website that you can check all that out. And there's an entire tab dedicated to the baseball project. While you're there, check out all the other cool stuff. The softball project is in there. Soccer specific facility expansion of the football stadium. Just a ton of good stuff in there. And I think the initial phase of everything is somewhere in the new, Kevin, 101 million? Is that right?
Yeah, the total for the phase one was 101 million. And it looked to be for the Barnhart Halton baseball clubhouse, looked to be, what was it, 6.975 million for that project allocated. So a nice chunk of that for the baseball. And then there was a phase two listed with additional seating, left field, down the left field line, and additional crowd cover, rooftop cover. The renderings are really nice. We've tweeted it, and we're going to pin it on our Twitter account, so you can always go and check it out. There's tons of renderings out there, and then their PDF they released with all the facilities. So go check it out if you haven't already checked it out.
Yeah, so and we're gonna sort of move quickly on. Coach, I don't know if you guys watching this probably know that Coach has got something going on tomorrow in terms of the Conference USA tournament first round, which I think we're scheduled to go about 12:30 local time, which would be 1:30 Eastern. But what we really, and Coach has got about 15 minutes with us here. What we would really like to talk to you about, and I know you've got a lot of passion about, is go back to this weekend and talk about Senior Day and the folks that we honored this week. So that's really what we wanted to talk to you about tonight, and give you a chance to talk about those seniors and all they've done for the program.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, I'm 37. I remember my 2007 Senior Day, you know, like it was just not that long ago. And it kind of hits you, it kind of hits you just as, you think back to, as each individual is walking towards you with their parents and they're receiving their jersey, that you can just, it's going to be on their wall in an office, or really, somewhere in a man cave or somewhere important to them, really for the rest of their life. And you just think back to all, their story. Every single player has a story, and to me, that's one of the best things about our job, is that we get to play some form of role of that story, in terms of certainly recruiting that, each player to here to Charlotte, but also to once they arrive here to Charlotte, to really trying to pick up where their parents and their coaches prior to us left off, and trying to continue that personal and professional and academic development that's going to carry these guys to the next chapter of their lives, whether that be professional baseball or the real world. But I said it in the video that was released last weekend, that the thing I'm probably most proud of is I know our entire coaching staff of, is that as we look at every single one of those guys that was honored on Senior Day, we can say with absolute certainty that they're ready. They're ready for the challenges that are in front of them. These guys are extraordinary young men that are going to do incredible things. And in the meanwhile, they'll always have a home with Charlotte baseball to come back to. And, whenever they need help, we'll be here for them.
One thing I was thinking about, and this weekend really did turn into sort of had a very family reunion kind of vibe to it this weekend. A lot of former players came back, and one of our former players and their now wife walked by, and they were pushing a baby stroller, and somebody that you watch kind of grow up in front of your eyes and play baseball and go on with their career and do what you're talking about, and now they're back and they're bringing their kids with them. I felt really old, Coach.
Well, yeah. I've been coaching 12 years now, and you see, you start. The best part is getting those wedding invitations and the seeing the guys show up with their little ones. I coached JB Bukowskis in North Carolina in 2017, and he got married a year and a half ago, and he and his wife Sydney are already having a little one. Just know that they posted that today. And it's just stuff like that. I think back to when JB was 20 years old, and trying to navigate college and classes and being a Friday guy and the draft and all that stuff, and it just stuff works out, and I just like you said, man, that's the good stuff.
Hey, Coach, we're gonna go through the list here, and if you could just give us a quick story on each of these guys, if you'd like to.
Yeah, sure.
We all know Jackson Boss's story. Walk on, had a tryout in the fall, made a team at a tryout. Talk a little bit about Jackson Boss and his impact on the program.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson sent us an email, and it was really clear, like at the beginning of his bullpen session in that December, that he was going to make the team. And I always joke with him that, like, I knew like 3 or 4 pitches in, I was like, he's going to make our team. We really needed pitching, and just he had some stuff that we didn't have on our pitching staff, and so made him throw about 30 pitches, and he was nervous and fight through a whole preseason, but he made it and ended up pretty much leading the country appearances or top 3 or 4 before COVID hit. And, he's just an incredible person, engineer major. Sky's the limit for him as far as his future and the things that he's going to do. So certainly helped us between the lines, but as a great pitcher, but he's an even better person.
I'll offer you a quick Jackson Boss anecdote, just because I think it speaks to his character and what he's willing to do to wear the 9 across the chest, as you say. I guess for you guys have to pare the roster down for travel purposes, and Jackson was not on that roster for the game at Chapel Hill. I'm assuming because on the way out of town, my daughter and I were driving. We're driving away from the stadium, and Jackson was walking through Chapel Hill, dressed out, wearing his uniform. And I stopped and rolled my window down and said, "Hey man, everything okay? What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just walking back to my car. I drove up." And he drove. He brought himself to Chapel Hill just to put that uniform on and hang out.
He was on the roster. No, he just had an issue that he couldn't depart with the team when the team departed. But he was on the travel roster that night. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good correction, Coach. But still, I mean, he was willing to get himself there to have that uniform on, and be with the team. So I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, no doubt. No, he he texted me. He's like, "I'm not missing it for anything," and got in the car and drove. And because these guys, student athletes, man, they have full schedules. It's things pop up and got to be flexible. And Jackson got in the car and drove himself to and from. And unfortunately, it wasn't as fun of a ride home as we had hoped. But it certainly meant a lot that he that he did that.
Still pretty cool to see a fully dressed Charlotte 49ers baseball player walking through the middle of campus.
I probably should have given him some parking tips. That's on me.
Speaking of Chapel Hill, next senior on my list was Michael O. He joined us on the show. Had a great story. Share a few memories about Michael O. As a senior coach.
Yeah, long story short, I flew up to see somebody else pitch at his junior college. I didn't know who Michael was, and I'm watching the other pitcher pitch, and I look to my left and I see this pitcher that's throwing a ton of strikes, and I love the delivery and the way he was throwing. And I asked his coach who that was, and he says, "That's Michael O." And I said, "Well, why is he throwing first? And the guy I'm here to see throwing second." He goes, "Oh, well, Michael's our best pitcher, but he doesn't throw as hard." And I said, "All right, well, don't ever let me fly up here again without telling me who your best pitcher is." And so I ended up introducing myself after Michael threw, and we stayed in touch and invited him to come down to a camp. He threw really well. Offered an opportunity for him to go down to UNC and join the team. And unfortunately, unfortunately, I got hired here at Charlotte, and right when I came to Charlotte, he went to UNC. So he pitched there for 2 years and got his undergraduate degree. And we had a grad program that he was very interested in, and once he went to transfer portal, it was a no-brainer for us to go get him, and just love coaching him. He and his family are just awesome people, and he's helped us a lot this year.
He was really fun to have on the show earlier this year as well. Called him mid-range Mike for his basketball game. The next senior I have on the list, Quentin Martinez, transferred in, a grad transfer from App State, big lefty, contributed quite a bit on the mound this season. Can you say a few things about Quentin?
Yeah, Quentin's, he's an electric, he's an electric talent, just as far as pitchability and stuff. And he's pitching a variety of roles, starting and relieving, short relief, long relief for us. And as soon as we saw him, he went into the portal last summer, and there's a lot of Florida schools recruiting him. And, so we had to recruit him really hard to we had to recruit him really hard to not go back to the state of Florida. Unfortunately, he stayed here with in the great state of North Carolina and just, upgraded programs or schools, I should say. I don't know. I know how much you guys love Appalachian State, but
definitely an upgrade. Definitely an upgrade.
Made the upgrade over here to Charlotte, and that was for you, Nick, by the way. So we've just loved coaching him, and he's got an infectious personality that the guys on the team just love being around, and you've really seen him in a year here grow and mature, and I expect him to throw some really, really big innings for us this week here at the Conference USA Championships.
Yeah, hope to see that. Hope to see him continue pitching well for us this week. Next thing, another grad transfer from UNC Greensboro, Josh Madole. He was named All Academic Team for Conference USA this week. So congrats to Josh. You say a few words about Josh Madole over at first base, Coach.
Now, I mean, that's about as good of a defensive first baseman as I've ever coached. And that left-handed swing plays, all day, every day against lefties, righties. I hate that. I know our whole coaching staff hates that we've only had 1 year with him. He's just an awesome player and an awesome person and great family. And, certainly helped us get to this point, and it's going to help us, to continue this push here into the postseason. So, loved every bit of coaching Josh Madole. He's an awesome player, awesome person.
Spoke to Josh briefly after the game on Saturday, Coach, and I think it's safe to say he's a man on a mission at this point. He was extremely focused.
Yeah, all our guys are. They're ready.
And anyway, how is this? Aren't you supposed to be like rubbing off on us? Instead, it seems like maybe I'm rubbing off on you because now you're turning into a troll.
There's a phrase: "You are who you hang with," Nick. You are who you hang with.
Yeah. That's what I'm blaming it on. At least I'm blaming it on that too. Yeah.
Just don't screen grab. Just don't screen grab it and quote tweet it or something on Facebook. I have a lot of respect for the program. That was a joke.
Oh yeah. Josh was great to watch at first base this year. It's funny when we had him on the show, we were talking about all these great plays he had made, and he was kind of like, well, just routine pretty much. So that's the way he is. He's a great glove and great bat over there at first. Next thing, another transfer, grad transfer from USC Upstate, Will Lancaster, transferred in this year and ended up jumping into the weekend rotation for us and being a big contributor on the mound. Coach, can you talk a little bit about Will Lancaster's impact this season?
Yeah, I mean, Will he's the savvy veteran. I call him old man. He wants the ball. He'll throw 300 pitches if we ask him to. He'll start 4 consecutive games if we ask him to. I mean, he just wants to pitch. He wants the ball. He wants us to win. He's a huge part of our team and our pitching staff. And, he's another one. He's another one that it's a shame we only get to coach him for 1 year, but he's awesome.
Yeah, he really has made a big impact this season on the mound, jumping into the weekend rotation. Speaking of being on the mound, making a big contribution, Colby Bruce, 6th-year senior, all-time appearances leader for the 49ers. He's been doing it for 6 years. Well, going off a huge injury last year and bouncing back and having a big season this year. Coach, can you talk about Colby Bruce and your time with him in the past 3 seasons?
Yep. Colby and I joked that he and I pitched against each other in high school. We used to have some serious battles, Myers Park and South Neck, and so it's pretty cool now that I get to coach him. But he's been here for 6 years. Some of the guys on our team were 7th graders when he was a freshman in college. So it's pretty cool that just with everything he's been through from, staff change to global pandemic and having your season canceled to an arm injury and a year-long rehab process, to now, getting to be able to, finish what he started and, to surpass Eric Walker, who's one of the biggest names in Charlotte baseball history and one of the most important families in Charlotte baseball history's all-time appearance record is a big deal. And Eric's dad, Larry, was here with us this past weekend and got to talk to Colby, and that was really cool.
That is really cool. Glad to hear that. We kind of joke. I kind of joke with Nick that we had Colby Bruce on the 2020 senior show right when COVID hit. So he's been in the mix as a senior for 3 years, and he's made a lot of great memories at the Hayes for us. I know we'll always cherish those. And the Jukebox Hero, he made a huge impression on us. So
that's a classic. That's a classic song.
Yeah. So our next senior on the list, Matt Brooks. We had him on the show recently, and great kid, great family, gold standard player. So, you got anything to say about Matt Brooks, Coach?
Yeah, I feel like if we had an entire team of Matt Brooks, you could put him on the mound and you could put him at all other 8 positions, and heck, I could probably just let him coach the team and we would win a ton of games. He's a one of a kind, person and student athlete, and he's helped take our programs to new heights. I'll never forget the regional game that he pitched in last year. And although the outcome wasn't what we wanted, he was just an absolute warrior for 8 innings and put us in a position to win there in the elimination game. And I just couldn't be more proud of him for everything he's accomplished and done in his career here with us.
Yeah, great kid, great family. We will miss him next season. Hopefully, we'll see him around the program. I'm sure we will. And last but not least, we have to give a shout out to Sidney Pike. He's graduating. He's got a job already lined up with the Knights. So he told the Knights to hang on until the Niner season's done. And hopefully we got a few more weeks with him. Say a few things about Sidney Pike and what he means to the program, Coach.
Yeah, Sidney, I remember meeting Sidney like my first day here on campus and just thinking to myself that this is an individual that is a Swiss Army knife that's going to do whatever it takes, morning, afternoon, and night to help our program, get to the College World Series and win Conference USA championships. And he's done that. So, I'm certainly sad that his time with us has run out, but at the same time, he's helped take our program to new heights, and he will be a Charlotte baseball family member for forever, and can't thank him enough for all of his impact with us.
Yeah, and it was a great ceremony on Saturday and Friday, really, with the graduation. Chancellor Gaber came out and we had a graduation ceremony at the Hayes, and that was pretty neat to see. And then the senior day on Saturday was fun.
Yeah, Chancellor Gaber, she's amazing. She's been a huge supporter of our program and our players since she arrived, and she actually had our team from last year's team this past fall over to her house for dinner to celebrate our Conference USA championship last year. And, she does so much for campus and academia, and her support of athletics is pivotal and very much appreciated.
Coach, speaking of Conference USA championships, we could talk to you for the rest of the evening about this, that, and the other thing, but you've got some stuff to do. Wouldn't it be much more fun to get back together next week and talk about the 2022 Conference USA championship?
That's the plan.
All right. We'll put it on the calendar and look forward to doing that. Coach, good luck. We're gonna let you get on to the rest of your night. See you
Thanks,
tomorrow,
guys.
and
Yeah,
let's go get them.
We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, everybody do your rain dance and be ready. We'll be flexible. Our guys are chomping at the bit to get out there, and they look ready. So we appreciate all you guys do, and to everyone listening. I know it's mostly, a lot of family members and fans. Just we appreciate everyone's support for our guys. Through our 55 regular season games, and we're gonna fight like heck to put the uniform on as many times as possible this postseason. So brand new season here, 0-0, and we're gonna go get it.
All right, Coach. Good luck. Go get them.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, producer Brad. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. Do it.
Go get it. See you guys.
Do it.
Blake Jackson's ready.
All right. Head coach Robert Woodard. Appreciate him taking some time to join us and talk a little facilities, talk about those seniors, and kind of get us teed up for the tournament. I am Kevin. I am getting live texts of the current radar situation down here in the Gulf Coast, and weather looking a little iffy as we head towards the start of the tournament.
Imagine that conference tournament season and some impending weather.
Let's see. I don't know if you can see that. That's current situation, and Hattiesburg is right there. So that's and what's so funny is last year during the tournament in Ruston, when we had rain delays, the Southern Miss folks were were tweeting about, oh, it's not raining down here. We should have had the tournament here. Now it looks like it's going to rain here.
Well, and they're in their last season in the conference, so I don't know why they're down there, but it is what it is. Can't change it at this point, but hopefully we can get the tournament in, and we're not playing at midnight, starting games at midnight in the end. But you never know.
Well, what I like about this is there's several things I like about the way the bracket plays out. With us being in game 2, if weather gets in the mix, and it certainly looks like it's going to, we could end up playing our I don't know, I guess 1:30 Eastern game at 4 or 5 o'clock easy. And I'd rather be in game 1 or 2 than game 3 or 4. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah, because you're not going to be pushed into the midnight slot. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's recap real quick last weekend. La Tech came to town. Niners took care of business. Got a big W. Hale Sims, Spencer Geesting, Matt Brooks. Great effort on the mound on Thursday. It was Thursday night.
Yeah. I know all weekend long, Kevin, I was thinking it was a different day than it was. That whole the Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing had me all screwed up.
Yeah. You get away from it after you've been doing the same thing every weekend. It messes you up a little bit. But after that Thursday night game, there was a 5-way tie for third in Conference USA, which is amazing. Seeds 2 through 6 were up for 2 through 7 were up for grabs, and we ended up losing the series to La Tech, and with all the tiebreakers and all that, we ended up getting the 7th seed in the tournament, which worked out okay because we're going to play La Tech again, and we know we can beat them. We beat them a week ago, pretty much, and so interesting matchup to go back to back like that. But I think it worked out well for us.
Here's the thing about it, Kevin. we took care of business on Friday, and we went sort of all in, if you will, when we went to Geesting. And Spencer did the job, and like he's done so many times this season, and he sort of just he held them at bay while our offense did what they did. Their starter, which I don't know, I haven't seen. I've been driving all day, Kevin. You might have seen some better information than I have. I don't know if any starters have been announced for tomorrow by either side. But their Thursday starter no hit us through 3 innings. But by the 4th inning, he was leaving the game. And our offense just broke out. And you see this. I feel like this is a trend with our hitters. We need once through the lineup often, especially against really, really good pitching. We need once through the lineup to kind of see a guy. But when you start getting into that second trip to the lineup, our hitters tend to make the adjustment and jump on them. And that's exactly what we did on Thursday.
Right. Yeah. They certainly did. And like I said, we pulled within one game of La Tech for the 2 seed after that big win. Geesting looked really good, like he's done for all season. And that, I guess we used that kind of opener. You used Hale in that opener role, and Geesing just went, I think, 7 innings. Matt Brooks closed it out. Yeah, it was. And then the offense was. I think we're clicking on all cylinders with that offense, week in and week out.
Yeah, and then you saw on Friday, you saw Louisiana Tech sort of do the same thing we did, as far as they brought in Krieger, Kyle Krieger. They brought in their all conference. Did he make first team all conference as a closer today?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I felt like he more than likely would. And he did his longest inning or longest outing, I should say, of the season at 4 innings. And to me, that was Lane Burroughs. He knew how important that game was, that second game, and he sort of pushed all his chips to the middle of the table to have their closer go 4 innings to keep the Niner offense at bay.
Yeah, and that was his longest outing of the season, 4 2/3, I believe. He came in with the bases loaded, and we had 2 hot shots. I think Jake hit a line shot right at the shortstop, and then Jack hit one line shot right at the second baseman with the bases loaded. And he got out of the jam, and then continued to pitch the rest of the way. And Colin Kramer pitched for us. He had a great first 5 innings, allowed only 2 runs. We had the lead, got in a little trouble in the 6th, and then I think they got 3 on them in the 6th. That ended up being the difference in the game. But good outing from Colin. And I mean, a solid quality start for him. We just they just shut us down with Krieger the rest of the way. So the offense couldn't bounce back from that, and even the series up at 1-1 going into the final game.
Yeah, and then Sunday was just a weird game. I mean, it was one of the stranger games in recent memory. Just not only how it began, but how it ended. Let's just put it out there. With the start from Will Lancaster, Will had a highly atypical start for him, and really struggled to get through that first inning, and that ended up sort of setting the tone a little bit. Although the Niners did come roaring back. I mean, the Niners had their say as far as putting some runs on the board, but the first inning trouble sort of put the Niners in a hole that they could never dig out of. Now we'll talk about the end of the game here for a minute, but that I want to foreshadow a little bit with you, Kevin. I'll say this, since I said how atypical that start was from Will Lancaster. What I like about that silver lining, you know me, always Mr. Positivity here, Kevin. Going into this conference tournament, okay, so Will Lancaster, senior experience, knows what he's doing, grinds it out, tough dude. He had a bad start. If we're taking bets on this, put me down for him not having that kind of outing twice in a row. Just put me down for that. Will's going to be back down here in Hattiesburg, and next time you see Will Lancaster, he's going to be pissed off, and I hate that for whoever they unleash him on.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. And yeah, that's the thing. This season, we've had a lot of guys that they have a bad outing one day and then they come back the next one and are lights out. We've seen it time and time again through these guys. They're resilient. Pitching staff is resilient, and Will Lancaster, he's been a big contributor for us this year, and that was definitely out of character on Saturday, especially with the 11 a.m. start time too. But
and like senior day, and everything. But yeah, okay. I mean, we try to be open and honest here on the show. Will had a bad day. Bet you won't have two in a row. Just
right.
Producer Brad, go ahead and mark the tape on that. Who says that? I say that.
All right.
So
well, and I would just interject that the homer in me would also say that we didn't get our last two innings, and we had a man on base and 0 outs at the bottom of the 8th, and so we've seen miracles from us before, but we didn't get a chance to because of the rain delay. So
yeah, and another story for another day, but there was a little bit of confusion about how all that ended, and the game ended. But all I'll say is this: is our guys were ready to finish that game, win, lose, or draw.
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is. Water under the bridge. And all that matters at this point is game 4 of the series coming up sometime, hopefully tomorrow when it quits raining.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see who's throwing for us, who's throwing for them, what kind of strategy everybody's going to take with their pitching, because these tournaments are all about your pitching depth, and I think we've got guys that they're experienced guys that have been in lots of different roles, and the way we've been using kind of the opener the last few weeks of the season, it's been I think that benefits us quite a bit. Not to get too far ahead, but I'm excited to see the strategies.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's the weekend is what it is. The Niners end up losing 2 out of the 3 to Louisiana Tech, which, I mean, they're a good ball club. I mean, we knew that coming in. The Niners had their chances, didn't go their way. That's the first time that's happened in a few weeks. The Niners had a little stretch there in the middle of the season where the ball was kind of bouncing against them, weren't necessarily playing their best ball, got some key pieces put back in place, went on a run, and then you drop the series at home. Okay, fine. It is what it is. As the bracket sets up, we play them. We play Louisiana Tech again, and in our half of the bracket, the other side of our bracket is Old Dominion and Middle Tennessee, and I kind of like that. We're on the other half of the bracket from Southern Miss. And not that we're scared of Southern Miss. I mean, obviously they're a very good team, and if you're going to win a championship, you're going to have to beat some good teams. But it doesn't hurt to wait as long as possible to play a team that will be playing in front of a large and energetic home crowd. I'm not upset about that right now.
Right. And you got to beat them at some point if you want to win the championship. But like you said, might as well have their pitching watered down a little bit before you face them. Looking at our bracket, we've got ODU and Middle Tennessee in ours. We've talked about La Tech quite a bit. The ODU series, we took that series on the road, almost swept it. Took extra innings for them to avoid the sweep. We're not going to be playing in a wind tunnel this time, I guess. But
although Pete Taylor Park is a hitter's park, but no, they don't. Yeah. They don't have a wind tunnel.
Yeah. So, we had a great series in Norfolk. So I like our chances against them. We're pretty hot right now, and I think our team has changed a little bit. I think we only had David McCabe for one game during that series as well. So that was early on in the season. Lots has changed since then. So I think we are in good shape. I feel good about the matchup with ODU. Middle Tennessee, kind of similar. We lost the series there, but first game was in extra innings. We lost a 4-3 game in extra innings, kind of a pitcher's duel. But then we won the second game. Hale Sims had a great outing. The offense was explosive again, so we won 10-5 in the second game, and then the Rover game we jumped out to a big lead. Had one bad inning, and then couldn't recover, so they took the series, even though we outscored them on the weekend by one run overall. So lots has changed since then as well. So, and we're not on their home field, so I like our chances in our bracket.
Honestly, of the series that if you want to file in the one that got away column, Middle Tennessee is the first one that comes to mind. I mean, they're a good club. They've got some good wins on their resume, but including I guess they went down to Auburn and beat them, I believe. But that was the one. And I really thought, I mean, we had that series all but one and ran into a little trouble. And I mean, to your earlier point, talking about guys having an atypical outing and then coming back, Goose had a bad day in that final game with Middle Tennessee, and the next time we saw him, he got right back out there on the mound, and guys couldn't even hit foul balls off of him. He was mowing them down so effectively. So that series back there at Middle Tennessee sticks out as one. Is like, wish we had gotten that one. So in my way of thinking, all the better to get to potentially play them again and rectify the situation.
Right, and don't forget last year we owe for last year in the tournament as well. They were the 8th seed and kind of and upset us as the 1 down last year in Ruston. So yeah, we got that in the back of their mind as well. I think looking at our side of the bracket, I think when we got as good a shot as anybody else is coming out of that bracket and playing for the championship on Sunday. We've been pretty hot the last half of the season, and like I said, with 2 games left to play, we were all tied for 3rd place. So these teams are all fairly even, and it's kind of a toss up. Everybody's got a good shot, and no one is head and shoulders above anybody in this bracket.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting few days just to see how this shakes out. And tournament baseball is weird. I mean, we've been the oddities are already starting as tournament play got underway with several leagues today. There's already some interesting stuff happening out there, so it's only going to grow as we go forward. And as we say every time, and we say this, you say this in basketball conference tournaments too, Kevin. Somebody's got to win it, so why not us?
Yeah, that's right. We got to. And actually, they had some odds makers came out, and it's funny because we had the second highest odds of winning the tournament to Southern Miss. This guy that crunches numbers, and he does a lot of stuff for football season with offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. He put out the odds to win Conference USA tournament. I'm trying to look it up real quick. Here it is. Southern Miss has a 28% chance. Charlotte 19.2% chance. San Antonio 15.8% chance, and La Tech is a 14.5% chance. So, odds makers like us, the numbers say we're a hot team. We are a hot team, and we've got as good a shot as any, especially in our bracket, on our side of the bracket.
I am here for it. Let's get it. Let's do it. I want a good reason to go to Krispy Kreme donuts.
Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, I don't need too much of a reason, but I mean, tournament victories are a great reason to go over to Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, you're right. Real quick, when we're talking, we mentioned some of this earlier. Conference USA awards came out today, and all this stuff kind of came out at the same time. The master plan. Then, like 30 minutes later, Conference USA all conference team came out. It was kind of a rush of stuff a news rush flying at us all at once. But Conference USA had their awards, announced their awards today. Jack Dragum, first team all conference. Dave McCabe, first team all conference DH. Congrats to those guys. Second team all conference, Nate Furman, infielder, and Cam Fisher, outfielder. Congrats to those guys on the second team all conference. And then we had two on the all freshman team, Cam Fisher and Colin Kramer on the all freshman team. So Niners are well represented. Six award winners from the all conference list. So happy to see that. As always, I think we should have got a few more, but hey, we got green tinted glasses on, and
we're not biased, are we?
A little bit, yeah, we are. But I'll admit it, I am. But yeah, congrats to our 6 guys that made it, and we know we should. We always deserve more.
Yeah, we always deserve more. I like that. That should be our corporate motto. We always deserve more.
Speaking of corporate, I need to talk. I've been talking with corporate about getting the terrace at the new Hayes expansion named Diamond Niner Report Terrace. Been talking.
How much does that cost?
It's $1 million, and
is that all?
We're talking to Diamond Niner Report corporate to see if they can stroke that check for us so we can have the Diamond Niner Report Terrace at the Hayes.
Yeah, no need to worry. Our accountant handles that. That's to paraphrase. I've already paraphrased Bob Dylan. Now I'm paraphrasing Biggie Smalls. So I think I don't see why that can't happen, Kevin. Just $1 million, please, come on, and they'll let you make payments too. So it seems like Diamond Niner Report corporate would just jump on that. I mean, why not?
It's happening. Diamond Niner Report Terrace at the Hayes.
Yeah, and then we'll do our show from there.
That's right.
I love it.
Oh, so yeah, looking ahead to tomorrow, we got Old Dominion.
Well, hang on a second.
Okay.
Let me go back to these selections real quick.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. One thing I just wanted to say was that the two. I mean, we're obviously so pleased and so proud of all these guys, and they're so deserving. But the two that really stuck out to me were Jack first team. We Jack kind of slips through the cracks sometimes. I mean, if I told you Big Maple was going to be first team all conference, you would say, yeah, okay, tell me something I don't know. If I told you that Nate was gonna be an all conference selection, you'd say, yeah, I know. And Cam as well. We've talked so much about his ability to not only play right field, but just a monster lefty bat. But Jack with his defense and Jack's bat has been tremendous this year. Let's just say Jack has definitely been saucy. I don't know the recipe, but Jack's been so saucy. And Colin Kramer, when we go through and talk about pitchers, Kramer has really grown into his role over the course of this season. And, maybe doesn't get as much run as he deserves all the way around. So I just in particular want to go out of our way here to give attaboys to Jack and Colin, because those maybe if you bet me on some of them, you might have taken some of my money. They've had phenomenal seasons. I
agree. And we only had one all conference selection in the preseason. To get two on the first team, two on the second team, and two all freshmen are great this year. I will say, I think Jake Cunningham got snubbed.
Yeah,
he's up there in stolen bases, up there in homers, and plays great defense. Stolen bases, and he doesn't play in a wind tunnel. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, and so you saw this better than I did with getting into off the road and everything. Who got the first team in center field?
Well, they got just three outfielders listed: Garriola from ODU, McConnell from La Tech, and Vincones from FAU.
Yeah, and those are those are all good players. I mean,
and the second team was Trice from ODU, Cam Fisher, and Goldstein from FAU. So, anyway,
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Jake, that's fine. Jake can make the all tournament team
or win tournament MVP.
There you go.
So speaking of the tournament, tomorrow kicks off. I'm gonna use Eastern time, but the games are being played in Central Time Zone. Old Dominion and Middle Tennessee are supposed to start at 10 o'clock tomorrow, ESPN Plus. Our game follows, scheduled for 1:30 Eastern time. And then the night bracket is Southern Miss and UAB scheduled for 5, and Florida Atlantic UTSA scheduled for 8:30. And then winners bracket, Niners play. If the Niners are in the winners bracket, they play at 1:30 again tomorrow. If the losers bracket, they play at 10 a.m. on Thursday. So that's the schedule for the first two nights for us. Everything's going to be on ESPN Plus until the championship game on Sunday. Sunday, the championship game's on CBS Sports Network. So, and I'm sure we'll have it on our radio broadcast as well. But the whole tournament's on ESPN Plus. Glad to have that. I've been watching quite a bit of ESPN Plus today, checking out the other tournaments. So, conference tournament season is here. It's going to be awesome.
Let me show you. Let me share with you what I looked up here on my weather app here for the local weather. Showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Chance of rain 80% tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms. Chance of rain 90%. That's tomorrow. Well, let me tell you, it gets better on Thursday. Thursday's way better. Mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely in the morning. Then mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Chance of rain 70%. Thursday night though, mostly clear.
So let me see. I'm thinking what you need to do, Nick, is you need to take the McIntyre dugout with you to their stadium, like you do at the Hayes, for Saturdays at the Hayes, and just hang out there with your TV. And when they have rain delay, you come on out there and take a nap if you want to. Hang out, get on Twitter if you want to, do whatever inside of your camper. And then when they say they can play again, you go back on in, man.
Well, the last time I had this much rain delay on my hands, I had Marshall to make fun of. I don't have anything like that because, as we were talking at the beginning of the show, Hattiesburg's Greenville, North Carolina. It has that kind of vibe to it. Campus looks pretty nice. The football stadium, drove by it and found Pete Taylor Park. We'll see the inside hopefully sometime tomorrow. But as far as restaurants, shopping, and things to do and that kind of thing, they're doing all right here in Hattiesburg. It's no Huntington. Let's say that. So
did you have to pay to get in the state?
I'm going to have to find somebody to make fun of, I guess.
Isn't there like a casino there or something?
There is gambling down in Biloxi, probably an hour south of here. I don't think I can take my teenager in a casino, though.
Good call. I just remember driving through Mississippi, and it was like every other billboard was a sign for a casino. So that's my recollection of Mississippi.
You're right. They do have gambling. As I recall, I don't know that they've changed this or not, but the casino has to be on water. So up in Tunica, years ago when the Conference USA basketball tournament was in Memphis, some of us drove down to Tunica, Mississippi, and you have these casinos basically out in cornfields. But the law is that unless it's changed, the law is that the casino had to be floating. So they went out into a big giant field, dug a pit out, filled it with water, put a barge in the man-made lake, and then put a metal building over that. And that was their floating casino. And Tunica, that's way up north though. You may just go down to Biloxi. I don't know. I honestly, guys, I'm not a casino guy, so I don't know all the ins and outs of that.
We thrive on this show to give you stuff that you won't see in a box score, and you definitely will not learn about Mississippi casino laws in any box scores.
Yeah, and everybody knows if I have money to burn, I'm not taking it to a casino. I'll blow it on the Niners somehow.
Krispy Kreme, man, it'll be a Krispy Kreme
or a Krispy Kreme. That works too.
All right, yeah. Well, I think we've about exhausted our time for tonight.
I'm glad we got to do this. Y'all hit me up tomorrow if it's raining. We could just do stream of consciousness. Just get on and jump on YouTube and who knows?
Yeah, you need to do some live videos from Hattiesburg for the brand. And before we get out of here, I do want to commend you for having perfect attendance at the Hayes this season. That is quite an accomplishment. And seriously, with all the stuff that we kicked off the Saturdays at the Hayes and everything we've done and everything you you've done to facilitate that. And that was a great season of tailgating. Everyone sounds like enjoyed it, and we're only going to grow it from there. And hats off to you for all you did to make that happen. And can't wait till we get to do it again.
Hey, so many people, the tailgating, thanks to the AD for letting us do that this year and getting that set up. I hope that continues many years to come. Thanks to this last Saturday was the weather actually kind of played into our hands. Chip Wampler's Mobile Mine Shaft did a phenomenal low country boil, and we had so many people there. The regular crowd. But we also had former players there and just people that were checking out because it was the end of the season and wanted to get in a game before the season ended. We ended up with a huge crowd out there in the gold lot for the tailgate that was after the game. So many people, kind of had a family reunion vibe to it. It was so awesome. We should mention the McCabe's got into the country. So Mr. and Mrs. Maple were there. We put some pictures out on Twitter. I brought with me, by the way, let me see if I can get it the right way here. I had David and if you can see that, I had David and Robert, his dad, both sign my Canadian flag that we flew, and it's here in Hattiesburg now. So we're representing Big Maple here in Hattiesburg. Maybe that needs to go in the game or something and get waved in somebody's face when Maple hits a big shot out of Pete Taylor Park or something like that. We'll see what can happen with that. But that doesn't everybody have a McCabe signed Maple Leaf flag?
No, but they should. And I definitely think you should be taking that into the stadium this week just to represent. So yeah, that needs to happen, Nick, and you need to video it too.
Oh yeah, I see our boy Feet Davis. Feet's jacked up. He says we got this. Let's go. I'm with you, Feet. We can do this. Ain't no big deal. Let's just start winning games and keep going.
Keep going. That's all we got to do is just keep going.
All right, boys. Y'all be good. Let's wrap this up and get out of here. I don't know what the next few days hold. I don't even know what tomorrow is going to hold with the weather. But keep an eye. Everybody, keep an eye on Charlotte Baseball Twitter. We'll retweet anything we see. I'll let you know. From on the ground. I'll give you live weather reports. I'll go outside and come back in and say it's raining. So we'll keep you apprised of what's going on down here. But hey, this has been awesome. Glad we got a chance to do this. We talked about it last year at the conference tournament, and it just didn't work out. But we pulled it off this year. See, we get better. We get a little better every year, Brad and Kevin. Just a little better.
We've gotten a lot better. Everything's going in the right direction.
But, eventually we do this show live from Omaha.
Yeah.
On the list.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Glad we could get in a little pre-Conference USA tournament action. Look for this podcast wherever you find them. Check out Diamond Niner Report on social media. We do Twitter primarily. We also do Facebook and Instagram. I brought my Instagram intern with me down to Hattiesburg again. You will not find us on Twitter. You will find us on Twitter. You will not find us on anything like TikTok, or I'm going to add Snapchat to the list because I heard somebody talking about Snapchat on the radio. We're not on there either. Hit subscribe, get more content. Turn notifications on Twitter for the conference tournament to get all this great content of the pictures of the rain I'm going to send you, et cetera, et cetera. We appreciate you tuning in. It's been fun. We'll get with you next week to talk about the conference tournament that we won. For Kevin, for producer Brad, and Coach Woody, this has been Nick. And we're going to see you. Well, we're not going to see you at the Hayes, but I see you at Pete Taylor Park. Good night.